Okay, so first and foremost, before we start today's video, I do want to go ahead and say real fast, this is definitely not just going to be some jumping on the train of negativity just to be negative. Basically just to voice my opinions on what's been going on recently with 343 and really just the Halo community just in general. It's definitely been a rough awakening here in the last day or so. In case you guys haven't seen the news, Joseph Staten just has completely left 343 and is now going back to doing Xbox publication instead. So he's no longer going to be working on the Halo project, and it is definitely a massive bummer for the Halo side of gaming. But more than anything, besides just Joe Staten leading, we also are having a gigantic layoff just epidemic happening here on the Xbox side. 343 has lost a absolute ginormous amount of talent, and literally just in one day, just a giant exodus of amazing talent has just been ripped out of the side, and it's absolutely devastating to see. So just easily want to say my thoughts go out to all the 343 devs who have sadly lost their job here in this massive layoff. This Microsoft wide has completely just did a massive dump of their employees. I absolutely hate seeing this, and it's just, but currently like everyone is in complete just mass panic. Either of you guys have checked out on what's been happening on Twitter, or even just really been watching some of the Twitch streamers and stuff from yesterday to today, there's a lot of people who are seriously worried about what's going on. Obviously, Halo hasn't been in the greatest place here in these last couple of months. Hell, just the last year alone. It's just been really rough for Halo. But all of a sudden, we started seeing a big comeback. We saw Forge make a really good debut. We were seeing a lot of really good progress get done. Season 3 looks absolutely tremendously promising, and is looking like it's going to be a really great season, at least from what we were seeing in the beginning. However, basically, if we were to go off of what's been happening right now to 343, basically we're looking at a complete shutdown of any chance of there being any type of story content coming to Halo. If going off of some of the rumors and just really going off of who is getting kicked out of 343, looking at who's leaving 343, it's looking like basically most of the multiplayer team is being kept. So the whole team, like, it's going to be working more towards Season 3 and going further on developing the multiplayer. That side of things seems to be mainly still what's intact. It's what the story side of 343 is what's been hurt the most. A lot of these story creators, a lot of directors who've been placed into working on that, on side of the community things, have suddenly been, well, laid off. Also, a big misconception that's been going on within the community is that Joseph Staten was actually just laid off. Joe was not laid off. Joe actually just had a contract plan put in place to keep him there and to make sure that Halo actually shipped. Halo Infinite was in such a massive disarray before launch that they ended up getting Joe Staten. And if you do not know who he is an absolute legend from the Bungie era of Halo, and they hired him on the scene. He was a big writer for the games, and really just, he had to come in, ensure that Halo was able to launch properly. But not even that, after it was launched, obviously his job had plenty much more to do besides just simply getting the game out the door. Now he was put into the place where he had to sit there and completely steer the ship from crashing into a brick wall, and has pretty much been the main guy who's just been the voice of Halo ever since Infinite has come out. Basically, every type of tweet that Joe has dropped has generally been to kind of steer us into a direction that we can understand. They've always been super transparent from 343, and that's definitely something that we can all agree they have been. A lot of companies will just simply shoot down immediately any signs of chaos, but 343 has always been pretty open about if there's been some type of problem, delays are happening. Either way, they've always been on top of this stuff, and, well, we just don't know exactly what's going on for sure just yet. Once again, pretty much all this news is coming from very credible resources and insiders, including the very notable Jason Schreier. Generally gets his information correct. Maybe not every time, but I'm willing to say that at least over 90% of the time when he says something, it's gonna check out. There's even been key people from the esports scene of the HCS tournaments that are also being kicked off from their jobs. Absolutely hate it. I hate to see it for these guys. There's a lot of amazing talent at 343. Even if Halo Infinite isn't the greatest game in the world, which it by any means is definitely not, any of the developers who's actually worked with them will say is at the very least the developers do care, but the management it's absolutely been just a absolute nightmare and has been the key reason why Halo Infinite failed in the first place. They've made a lot of massive mistakes, and it's really just overbearing to see. We have no idea what's going to be going on in Halo Infinite. We don't really even know what's going to be happening to Halo really at all right now. Some people have jumped on to even saying that Halo is just dead, like we just killed Halo. I really doubt that that is the case. Halo is for sure not going to be dying, but the identity of Halo is possibly at stake. If everything is basically being shifted into being completely focused on multiplayer, that means that we're not getting, like I said, we're not going to be getting story DLC. We're not going to be getting any type of new sequel or series entry anytime soon. If we do, it is not going to be canon-placed Halo game. It is going to end up just being multiplayer title. It could be a battle royale. Whatever it is, it seems that the multiplayer side of things is still running. It doesn't really seem like the multiplayer side of the team got hit. It's just been really everybody else. And 343 is not the only company that got hit by this. Bethesda has also been suffering as well. And now we're looking at possibly not even getting Starfield this year. And that alone is just, I don't even want to talk about it. It's just, this is such a terrible topic, and I don't even want to make a video on this. I hate talking about negative things on the channel, especially when it comes to Halo. Like, my channel is basically just centered around on the good things of Halo, you know? Halo Infinite isn't the greatest thing in the world. I try to make it positive enough to where we have fun in Halo, we make the best of things, and we just move on from it. It's like I said, it's something I just don't generally like to discuss, but this is just awful. I absolutely hate it for all the 343 devs going through this. I hate it for the Bethesda developers, and I hate it for really anyone else that's on the Microsoft side of the scene who's lost their job. Hopefully you guys can land a job that's going to be able to provide for you guys. I don't know, but it's definitely a rough time. Either way, guys, we'll see what happens. If we get a good update, or really anything at all, maybe 343 speaks, I'll make a channel run-up video to kind of cover this. But other than that, yeah, pretty much checks out. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the battlefield, Spartans, and as always, see you next time.